Well, hello, welcome here to Vancouver, to Langley and to the Longines Grand Prix. We're getting ready for a top weekend packed full of international sport. Looking ahead, of course, to the Longines Nations Cup here this Sunday. But today it's all about the Grand Prix. Stunning setting, stunning fences. Katie Stazak sitting alongside me. And Katie, we always love coming here, don't we?
Oh, it's one of my absolute favorite venues, and I know you agree, Adam. This picturesque field just puts on great sport. It's always a pleasure to come here, especially on a day like this.
Yeah, it's absolutely scorching out there. 23 degrees. The sun's been shining all day long. Perfect ground conditions as well. We're out having a walk of that course, and I think the horses are going to be pinging off this big grass field.
And they have been, because each class has just been characterized by so many clear rounds. They've been large jump-offs, and this track, though, significantly more technical than what we've seen so far, so I think that number might go down a bit today.
Yeah, top field, about 35 combinations in total coming forward, and it is a jump-off format, so any tie for first place after round one will take us to a single jump-off against the clock. But here's the runners and riders that are going to be featuring here in the Longines Grand Prix. Connor Swale getting us underway. He's won a lot of money here at Thunderbird. He
has won $300,000 in prize money at this venue in the past 2.5 years.
That's not bad going, is it? Then we've got Lucy Deslauriers, her horse of a lifetime so far, Hester. Hilary McNerney's been building up a great string. Lorenzo Farrell's in there. Karrie Rufer, again, got 2 or 3 new ones coming through. Tiffany Foster, a great one for the home nation. I mean, there's some real big names coming forward in this one.
Absolutely. They're all going to test the water, some of them for the Nations Cup on Sunday. Others, this is their highlight of the week. A tremendous class. It is a 5-star. And an international field as well. Quite a few individuals. We saw Paola Amilibia from Spain. We've got Nikolaj Hein Ruus from Denmark, and a huge contingent from Mexico, more than any other nation at the competition and in this class.
You were saying earlier we could actually run this whole class just with the Mexican athletes that are here. There's so many of them.
31 horses they brought. Just tremendous for the 5-star alone.
Yeah. And then we've got Kent Farrington, of course, one of the biggest names in the world of show jumping, currently ranked 8th. Vanessa Mannix, Mariano Maggi, who's been doing very well, and some names that we see quite a lot here in North America, such as Rich Feathers.
Yeah, he's a hometown hero, particularly here at Thunderbird and on the West Coast. Andrew Wells coming here for the first time. Quite a few newcomers as well. Another Coyle, Jordan Coyle. Of course, Daniel Coyle won this class last year, not back to defend the title this year. He's saving Hite for the Nations Cup. We'll see if his brother can take a turn at the top.
And then right at the very end, we've got Carlos Guerreiro, Tracey Epp, and then Mario Deslauriers in the horse he took to the Nations Cup finals. So a real strong field, a real strong track, and I think we're in for a great afternoon of sport here at Thunderbird Show Park here in Langley, Vancouver. Some of them are here to represent their country at the Nations Cup a little bit later in the weekend, but today we concentrate on the Grand Prix, and quite a big tough test out ahead of them.
It is. It's a 1.60 track. It's not, I wouldn't say it's the biggest track that I've seen, but we were chatting about it, and the oxers are very, very wide.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. You know, you're going to need a real careful horse in this one, a real powerful horse, but there's a few lines in particular. We're going to have a look when the first horse comes on track, but we're going to be keeping an eye on the triple combination. I think there's a big powerful treble bar that looks about 2 meters wide. Then you're on a related distance to a real delicate upright. And I think the test down there is going to be the
final
upright. Yeah.
The final line as well. That double to the final Longines upright, which is offset a little bit to the right. It is set completely on the half stride. 6 or 7, you're going to have to decide immediately.
Well, it's going to be an exciting one. We've lost 1 or 2 from the original start list. I think we're down to about 32. I don't know, I'm going with 5 or 6 clears.
That's a good number.
Yeah. What do you think, 5 or 6?
I'll do the over. I'll do 7.
You're going to go for 7. Okay. Well, we'll see how things pan out. Peter Holmes is our course designer today. And again, we'll take a look at that track in detail once we get the first one on. But I can tell you we've got 16 jumping efforts, 13 numbered obstacles, and having a walk around, it felt like quite a long way around, and 82 seconds is the time allowed. So we'll see how much of a factor that's going to play as things progress.
Well, just for perspective, in the qualifier yesterday, the time allowed was 70 seconds. So this is a much longer track, and it's really going to be a test of endurance as well.
Well, we've got all the ingredients. We've got a top course, we've got some top athletes, and we've got some top facility and grounds here. So let's get underway with that first combination coming on track. Our first to go here in the Longines Grand Prix. And it is going to be Connor Swail that gets us underway. It's a horse that's been owned by Lizzie Gingras for a couple of years now. Lizzie's just had a baby called Jacob at the end of March, so Connor gets the ride. It's a 12-year-old by Verdi called Captain. Connor Swail of Ireland, first to go. And this is a good pathfinder.
Absolutely. I'm not sure anyone feels more at home over this field than Connor Swail. He is the winningest rider in the history of this venue. Part of the winning Irish Nations Cup team here a year ago, and just countless victories.
Well, I mentioned Lizzie had her baby at the end of March, and it was in that same month that Connor took over the ride in Wellington. So still a relatively new partnership.
Absolutely, and particularly at this level. Had a nice go-round for a first round cleared, though, in our meter 50 jump-off class yesterday. So definitely getting to know each other, and without a doubt, the horses jump so well for Connor Swail. That's the first real big spread there over the Liverpool.
It's amazing how quickly this triple combination comes up.
It really does. Set a little bit on the longer side of normal, but here's a line where you really have to choose a track as well.
That's a thinking line, that one.
Very much, again, set on the half stride. You choose 6 or 7, you stay on the inside track, or bear out to the outside, put some shape there.
Now here comes this treble bar to the upright. This is going to be a line that might just cause an issue or two for a few of them today.
Horse came right back to him there for that 6. So adjustable, and he got a good gallop to the triple bar as well.
But it's definitely not over until you've jumped this line down here.
Absolutely not. And something to keep an eye out for. There goes the rail. The planks at the bottom actually are not solid. You can see through them. They have little openings there, and that's designed to draw the horse's eye down. And I haven't seen a plank like that.
No, it's quite unique, and it's new, as you say, so we'll see how it's going to play out. But all the way around to that final line. First part of the double, and I think a few are going to have that last fence. It's on completely flat cups, and it's one of those planks that you were talking about, Katie, sitting on top.
You can see right through it. Yeah,
and on really flat cups as well. But it's going to be 2 down and a total of 8 there for Connor Swail and Captain, 77-26. Lucy Deslauriers comes forward next, one of the younger riders in the field. She's just 19 years of age. It's going to be her 20th birthday in July, and what a horse this has been for her. It's the 14-year-old Hester, and she has done so much with this horse. She got it as a 9-year-old, and they just haven't stopped growing as a partnership since.
They really haven't. They've come up all the way to the very top levels of the sport. Made 4 Senior Nations Cup teams last year alone, went to Nations Cup finals, actually came in as an alternate and stepped up to jump at the U.S. leg earlier this year. And this has been a very unique year for Lucy because she just finished her first year of college at the University of Pennsylvania, so she's been juggling even more back and forth.
The thing I like about this story is this is a horse that she took to young riders and got a gold medal, and then she stayed with it and went from young riders right up into the sort of senior ranks.
And he just bounds around there. The two of them know each other. It's so seamless.
Her dad also competing in this competition. We'll see him as our last to go. But I'm sure he'll be down at the gate doing father duties at the moment. See her using her upper body down this distance.
Yeah, he really carries her. She does a great job there to that more narrow upright with the chest piece standards. Gets very steady for her there into the double.
Wait. And jumps to last as well. Let's have a look at that time, 75.63. Now, time allowed set at 82 seconds. I don't think that time is going to be much of an issue at all. But a great round, just 19 years of age. Lucy Deslauriers gives us the first clear here in the Longines Grand Prix with Hester.
Made that look quite easy. Just great work around that track. Horse looks very fresh. And Lucy did a brilliant job of just staying so tall with her body in those critical moments.
Let's go to Mexico. Mexico very well represented here today. Nicolas Pizarro is the first of the Mexican riders, though, with Carquillo. He's had so many good placings with this horse. You know, regular now in the World Cup series.
I just spent 2 weeks in Mexico in San Miguel at Otomí, and Nicolas runs an incredible operation in Mexico. He brings about 40 to 50 horses to every competition. He is always riding or teaching, and he's done a brilliant job bringing this horse up.
Oh, a little rattle as he came out the triple combination there. It's a real interesting time for Mexico as well. And they're really building a strong team at the moment.
What's even wilder is if you take a look at the young talent coming up the pipeline behind them. They just have such an enthusiasm and a growing commitment to the sport from really everyone.
He's had this horse since it was a 6-year-old, and he's done an incredible job with it.
Top 5 in this class a year ago.
One to come. And clears the last. So we are guaranteed a jump off already. Nicolas Pizarro and Carquillo jumps clear for Mexico. 76-37. So 3 gone, 2 clear. Going to be an interesting one, actually.
It really is. Look how he jumps in to this line at such an angle, but the way he shapes it there, he gives himself some more space. The line works out so well.
Oh, and a little munch of grass on the way out as well.
Deserves that.
Well, we know we've got the jump off, but the question is just how many are going to make it through. Staying in Mexico, Arturo Parada Vallejo comes forward next with Tarzan. This is a 12-year-old. This is a horse that Yuri Mansour rode for a short time, but Arturo's had it, I think, for about 3 years now. We've seen him do quite a lot. We've seen him in the Nations Cups with this horse. And this horse really likes the big open arenas.
And he's having the week of his life here. He started off the week, he won the 2-star welcome and the 5-star welcome yesterday, and he was second with this horse in the 5-star jump-off class that followed. Unfortunately, his streak of making it to jump-offs will end, though, there with an early rail at 2.
I think you jinxed him there, Katie.
I probably did. He said that he's really been wanting to come to this venue for quite a few years. He didn't feel like he had a string of horses that was ready to do the Canadian circuit. His patience really paid off. Here the jump's a bit bigger and maybe just hurrying things a bit.
Well, sits on 12 at the moment, and it looks like he might just be going to call it a day. Yeah, it gives his signal to the ground jury, and I think that was really sensible. It's a 12-year-old horse. They've only got so many jumps in them, and you know that horse has already got some great experience, so he decides that they're just having a bit of a bad day and that they should retire.
Absolutely. Great day yesterday. Today the horse came out just not entirely on top of his game. Got a bit deep in there into that line, and then stutter steading. Looked like he's really hesitating off the ground, doing the right thing for the horse there.
Well, Nicolas Pizarro clear, Lucy Deslauriers clear as well, and now we're going to the 27-year-old Hilary McNerney and her 12-year-old gelding, Captain Cooper, by name Lassar. This is a new ride for Hilary. Mark Kutziger first brought the horse out in 2016, and it's been with a couple of other riders since then. But Hilary really starting to get to know this horse now.
Lovely horse. I think a great horse for her to step up to this level with. He's a 5-star veteran. He's so adjustable. I love his head carriage, and he has a great rhythm. This show does mark their 5-star debut together. Some nice results in April in Lexington. But they're going to pull a rail there at C out of the triple combination.
That was a shame for her today, but it's a really exciting time actually, because she's got this horse. She's got another new one called Billy Penny, which is a British bred horse. And for the last few years, she's kind of been relying on one ride, so it's nice to see her, you know, adding some breadth and depth to her string.
I mean, and it's very smooth out there to watch. Certainly looks like she belongs. And this horse's rhythm never changes. He's such a pleasure to watch.
Yeah, just for jumping today, 79.77 the time, but as a new pairing, you know, you mentioned Katie, it's their first time out in a 5-star competition as a partnership. She can't be too disappointed with that.
Oh, she certainly held her own. A lovely go-around there. We identified the triple combination as one of the more technical elements on the course, and that seems like a minor thing that she can work on at home. That's one to watch, certainly.
5 combinations gone so far, still on 2 clears at this stage. Lorenzo O'Farrell is going to be coming forward next, and she brought this horse out in 2016, jumping meter 35 competitions, and over the last 3 years really started to push it up the levels. It's an 11-year-old Oldenburg mare by Calvaro called Calvira. Lorenzo O'Farrell goes next for Mexico.
Well, she's already won a Longines Grand Prix this year, taking the title in Jalapa. She has brought this horse all the way up the ranks and just done an outstanding job. Also part of the Winning Nations Cup squad for Mexico at Jalapa. That's with another horse called Queen's Darling.
I think that's probably the horse she's best known for at the moment, actually, Queen's Darling. It's been a real consistent Grand Prix ride for her.
Yes, jumped in the Nations Cup here at Langley a year ago. And both horses kind of similar. A bit stocky, smaller, not the most conventional types, but boy can they jump, and so consistent.
Can I find a bit of an angle to cut across there?
Yeah, she went right to give herself a touch more room. It worked out. It got very close. You have to do the same thing in that line. Jump in at an angle and kind of put some shape into it.
Yeah.
Shifted hard off the ground left there.
She's really having to work down those lines.
Again, fighting through there. They pull the back rail at B. And 1 on the clock, too.
Yeah, it's 8 jumping and 1 for time. Total of 9 there for Lorenzo O'Farrell, 82.06. And it looked like that horse just kind of hangs in the air ever so slightly over the fence. And I think when you add it up over, 16 efforts, I think that is going to add up to a time fall.
It 100% accumulates. And at the end there, she really had to steady to kind of get the horse where she wanted.
So at this stage of play then, 2 clears. Lucy Deslauriers for the US, Nicolas Pizarro for Mexico. Long way to go though. Like 26, 27 combinations left to come forwards here. Jenny McAllister, based in California, joining us next. She's on the 10-year-old Batida PJ by Balabu Duraway. A Kirem's Ruben mare, so some nice breeding lines. And a brand new horse for her actually. Olaf Smith of Sweden used to be jumping this one.
Actually, both horses that she's campaigning at the moment at this level came from Olaf Smith, having a lot of success with Escada as well. just debuting internationally earlier this month in Lexington. So this will be a big test for them.
Yeah, I think this is probably the biggest this horse has jumped internationally so far in its career.
Sporting the red coat, she will represent the U.S. squad this week in Nations Cup competition.
It's been an interesting course so far, because when we walked it, I thought the triple combination would cause a couple of more issues. I thought the triple bar to the upright, that final line, I didn't think after seeing, 6 we'd be sitting with 2 clears.
I think we've almost seen 2 different courses, because everyone's either been struggling quite a bit or just having a beautiful clear.
Yeah. And sometimes you find that you have a couple of early clears, and then it kind of settles down and it actually pans out how you were expecting. So we'll wait and see how things progress. I think the fact that time allowed is quite generous in this one. It's given them that time to, take a check or use a bit more room to set the lines up a bit more.
Well, the back rail there at that Longines Oxer will put her on 4. That's a line we've seen a lot of people take angles with, and she came out and jumped it a bit more on a straight line, and that line just didn't work out at all how she'd hoped.
So she was wearing a hackamore today, and down that line, horse was just evading it altogether. See it kind of sticking its nose in the air.
Yeah, definitely just pulling her past where she wants to be at these jumps.
Well, certainly not the day she was hoping for. It's going to be 17 in total, 83.16 there for Jenny McAllister, Batida PJ. But again, that's the biggest that horse has jumped in its career so far. And it looked like when she was trying to take a check, rather than coming back, it just put its head in the air and kept running forward. And that's not a nice feeling.
It's not. She was just turning a bit still in the air there and couldn't get across. Again, the wide oxers on this course. Looks like mostly a rideability issue. The horse was really unfazed, so maybe an equipment change and we'll see a big improvement.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, let's go to Karrie Rufer next. Another one who's really been building up that string. And she's going to bring Mr. Europe forward into this one. And, when you think of the horses she's got, Georgie Dowvery's been great for her, and this one's been performing well too.
And has really stepped up so well. They had a lot of success in the amateur owner jumper divisions this winter in Wellington. Took their time stepping them up to the international levels, and once they did, it was just a very smooth transition. And this will be great for her top mount in Georgie to kind of alleviate some of the pressure off of him to have to jump so many of the big chances.
Yeah, she brought this out for the first time back at the beginning of March down in Wellington, and they've been really getting to know each other. There's an old rider, Mark Hutziger, who represents the Netherlands.
Definitely the biggest class that these two have jumped together.
Karrie's getting ready for a busy summer. She's driving her horses to Spruce Meadows as soon as she gets done here. You could see her really trying to check. She could feel that a couple of strides out that she was going to arrive a bit sooner than she wanted to.
Absolutely.
Same again here.
Really fighting. And it'll carry her through there, through the double.
Just a bit homeward bound as it came down that line, but 2 down, and it's going to be a total of 8 there for Karrie Rufer. Mr. Europe still not going to be too disappointed. As you said, Katie, that's the biggest they've jumped together as a partnership, and just a couple of rails, and she knows exactly what went wrong.
Absolutely. It really becomes an endurance test for horse and rider, and he was pulling her the whole way and heading toward home, downhill on that final line. It just kept building for her.
Well, here's a lady that's represented our country on so many occasions. We're off to Spain. Paola Amilibia and Julieta. Horse that's really quick against the clock. We saw it in the speeds competition at Dublin last year, so we know if she gets through to the jump off, definitely one to watch. And this is a horse that's got some nice championship experience. You know, she's taken it to 2 Mediterranean Games.
Very well traveled combination, top finishes at the 5-star level, really across the globe. Laval, Madrid, as you mentioned, Dublin in the Speed Championship. What a versatile horse. Oh, he almost came down to the ground with his nose there out to sea.
That was a real honest little horse, I thought, there, coming out of the combination. See if she chooses to continue, because, you know, as we mentioned, this horse has got bags of experience.
Oh, rode that line beautifully.
You can see the horse has really settled down and going really nice for her now.
Finished up really well.
Yeah, and I think that's important. She's kept the horse going and it's now finished better than it started. And making the decision whether to retire or not, I mean, it really, you know, it's based on what the rider's feeling at that time, and maybe she felt it had a bit of time off and she wanted to give it a nice school to finish.
What a trier.
Yeah, such an honest little horse there. A few would have just slammed the brakes on, I think. We're off to the home nation now. Tiffany Foster comes forward. She knows this horse inside out. It's a 17-year-old gelding called Victor. She's had the horse 8 years. I saw this combination at the Royal Windsor Horse Show, which is in the Queen's Back Garden, and she finished top 10 in the Kingdom of Bahrain Stakes for the King's Cup. It really jumped its socks off. See how she does today, but this will definitely one of the crowd's favourite here. And she was in the Nations Cup team with this horse last year.
She was double clear, a real sensational performance. This horse still going strong at 17. We chatted with Tiffany earlier in the week and asked her about her best and worst Nations Cup experiences. Both came with this horse. They have such a tremendous partnership, been together for a long time and really grown together. And Tiffany said she brought her 3 very best horses to this show. She is out to do well, and she did just that yesterday, winning the meter 50 jump-off class with Brighton. And Tiffany actually grew up here at Thunderbird, showing here as a junior in the Hunters and Equitation. But she said yesterday after she won that she had never actually won a jumper class of any kind here until yesterday. It was a first. She said, I've won countless hunter classes, but never in a jumper class. So it was a special win for her. Mom actually in the ceremony awarding ribbons here. But unfortunately, they'll pull a rail here at 5A.
Yeah, just that first part of the triple combination. But yeah, her mum helps with the presentation and the prize givings here. And her mum is just like her, always happy, always smiling.
Oh, so bubbly. She was actually dancing, physically dancing in the presentation yesterday.
Whoa!
Oh!
That looked like quite a sore one as well when she just landed on those rails.
Landing on just the worst spot. Just some miscommunication there into the double.
But she sticks her hand up. She's absolutely fine. And all she's got to do now is catch Victor, who is off to enjoy himself and having a good gallop round here. But is safely caught down at the in-out gate. And I'm sure we're going to see Tiffany back in this ring as the weekend progresses. And, you know, it just goes to show it happens to every single one of us.
Absolutely.
And if it's not happened for a while, you start to worry because you know it's coming soon.
That is a very true statement.
So you've got to look on the bright side.
Get it out of the way for a little while. Nice to see Tiffany walking out under her own power, and they've caught Victor, and they will certainly be back to fight another day, and we will see Tiffany, of course, in the Nations Cup on Sunday to represent Canada.
And she's still smiling. Well, things really kind of panning out as we thought now, because we've now seen 10 and we still just have those 2 clears. So you can never kind of estimate or guess how a competition is going to pan out. But at the start, it did look like we were going to get a fair few clears, but now we're back to about 6 or 7, I would say. And Rodrigo Lambre could possibly be one of those. He's got a 13-year-old called Vellini in this one. Didn't have the best summer at Spruce Meadows with this horse last year, but since then he's done so much work and it's becoming much more consistent for him.
Made the top 3 in the 5-star Grand Prix at Ocala last year. Also on the Nations Cup team there for Brazil. Nice finish at the 5-star level in Wellington as well this winter.
Yeah, it's really coming together for him this year. This is a horse that Michael Whitaker and Joe Clayton of Great Britain did quite a bit with before Rodrigo got it. He's had it about 3 years now.
That is a very steady line there. And then to open up and again come back. That triple bar really presents a tough technical test in this course.
I'll make it wait. Yeah, super job and well within the time. 78.42. Rodrigo Lambre for Brazil goes through with Vellini. 3 clears, 3 nations represented in that jump off already. And he's going to be over the moon with that little horse. He's done such great work over the last 12 months.
Look here at that triple bar to the vertical. Horse fades to the left, gives himself a little bit more room. What an adjustable horse. Team doesn't look very surprised there at that clear.
Well, we were saying just how much talent Mexico has and how many good young riders they have. And this man just celebrated his 26th birthday 10 days ago. I bet that was some celebration. It's Juan Jose Zendejas next with Tino La Chapelle. A 12-year-old by My Lord Cathargo. Got Verdi on the dam side as well. This is a horse that's had a little bit of time off since the Winter Equestrian Festival.
Part of that winning Mexican squad at Deer Ridge for the Wellington leg of the Nations Cup. What a celebration was had that day.
This is a horse that Kirsten Cole had when it first came over from Europe, but Juan Jose's had it quite a while now.
Yeah, jumping at the international level together since 2016. Got a little bit quick down there. Horse is equally quick with his front end.
He's a real talent, as Juan Jose.
A bit of a rattle there through the double.
But gets the job done. 73.87 the time. Juan Jose Zendejas jumps clear. Tino La Chapelle representing Mexico. And that means we're up to 4 clears here in round 1 of the Longines Grand Prix in Vancouver.
Yeah, just like that, the clear round totals doubles here. Some very nice efforts.
On now to Francisco Pasquel. Naranjo is the name of the horse. This is a real scopy Grand Prix type of a horse. It's a 12-year-old by Robin II. It's a horse who's been jumping internationally for about 4 years now. He's taken it to the Central American and Caribbean Games. He's had some real good finishes and some good form already this year, and he's done such a lot of work to promote show jumping in Mexico as well.
Oh, he has. His marketing company helps put on the World Cup qualifiers at Guadalajara and León, but really just came at fence 2. So quick and direct.
Yeah. Yeah, the horse didn't back off it at all.
Really on the engine here early. Coming off a nice win last week right here in this field in the National Standard Grand Prix that they had.
It's just not their day. I think he's going to retire, I would think. Couple down, and I think that was a sensible move for him because, you know, that horse has done so much. And we all have a bad day at the office occasionally, and I think that's all it was, really.
Absolutely. That's not a horse that really needs the reps. He's so experienced, and do a bit more schooling.
Well, that's Nikolaj Hein Ruus you can see now, and it's a really exciting time for him because he recently joined the team at Spruce Meadows, and he's got some great horses to ride at the minute. This is a 9-year-old Hanoverian called Cadillac. Spruce Meadows have had it since it was a foal. It's now 9. Let's see how he's going to do today, but the whole team pretty much from Spruce Meadows have flown over to watch him.
No pressure.
He was saying, though, how good it is to have that support.
Oh, and I bet it's an incredible feeling to have that kind of horseflesh under you as well. I mean, Spruce Meadows are so wonderful at just bringing up the horses. They have such a talented young string of stars.
Whoa. He's used up his luck now, I think. Jad Dana, who also rides for the team at Spruce Meadows, has jumped this horse in the young horse competitions over in Europe.
Jenna Thompson took some time in the saddle as well. They've all done a really nice job bringing this horse along.
Three efforts left. Yeah, super job. And it's clear. 79.56. Nicola Hein Ruus jumps clear with Cadillac representing Denmark.
Absolutely thrilled. He is ecstatic.
And I'm pretty sure the whole team down there, Sullander, Siller and Heathcote's here, her and the team will be cheering him on when he's back for that jump off a little bit later on. Super ride there though from Nicola. Gives us our 5th clear here in round number 1.
Just a 9-year-old. What a horse. A tremendous ride around there. This is their 5-star debut. I can't think of a better way to start off.
Oh, absolutely. Start as you mean to go on. And he's going to have a busy summer with lots of nice horses to ride at the Spruce Meadows Summer Series. Having a look at those 5 clears though, Nicolas Hein Ruus, who we just saw, we've got Juan Jose Zendejas and Nicolas Pizarro of Mexico, Rodrigo Lambre for Brazil, and Lucy Deslauriers for the United States of America. So already we're guaranteed a great jump off there. And there's plenty more still to come here in round number 1 of the Longines Grand Prix. Antonio Maurer is the next to them, another of the Olympians that we're going to see jumping today. With him, another horse that's been with his rider for many years. This is Galileo de Laubre, a long-time partner of Antonio Maurer. A combination we saw finish top 6 in the World Cup qualifier in Lyon earlier in the year.
I know you saw these two as well, Adam, with some nice finishes last year at Spruce Meadows.
Yep.
Top 5 in the RBC Grand Prix there. They've danced all the big dances, and This horse, not built conventionally, not the most conventional style, but one of the biggest triers that I've seen. I absolutely love watching this horse. And then that's my fault too.
Yep, you've jinxed him another one, Katie. He's a little bit tappy today, but normally this horse is ultra consistent, and I don't think it would be that good with any other rider, because Antuna does a good job of taking checks where he can, but then he just kind of lets it go in its own unique fashion.
Yeah, he kind of held a little bit too much there out of the triple combination to pull C, but the horse's stride is so big he has to hold him. He was really planning for that next line a bit too early. He's going to call today. He knows the horse is much better than the performance that they put forth today.
Yeah, he doesn't like to be interfered too much with that horse. He's got that kind of miler combination bit in, and although it looks quite severe, actually it really spreads the pressure from the poll to the nose to the bars of the mouth. Really wasn't like that horse, but we'll see him back in the ring another day. Richard Spooner's next. It's Arthos R that we're going to be turning to. And in fact, it's not. It's Laura Hite who's decided to move up with Calypso van de Zuidhoven. Horse she's had for a couple of years now. Had some nice finishes in San Juan Capistrano in California a few weeks back. This one by Tangalo van de Zuidhoven.
Jumped in this class last year, actually went over to Europe, won the 2-star Grand Prix of Valence in France before returning stateside, posted another win at Del Mar. That was last year, one of their best seasons.
She had a great year last year. She took this horse over to Europe as well, and the horse just kind of grew and grew while it was over there.
This course is such a rideability test. Every rider that comes out here, you just see holding so much. A lot of really tight lines on this course, which is especially difficult when you're galloping around a field this big. The horses just want to go. And it happens the whole way through, particularly here.
Feels like it just became a touch strong down that line. You can see her still kind of holding all the way down to the final fence, but just that one fence coming down here today for Laura Hite. She will finish on 4:79 seconds, and we're staying on 5 clears at this stage. Some really nice combinations still to come forwards here in round number 1. There's a lot to like about that little horse.
Great work of that triple combination. Hit it spot on.
Well, Federico Fernandez then. Next to go, 3-time Olympian, a man who's been to 7 World Equestrian Games. And this is the horse he rode to a top 3 finish in the World Cup at Lyon. It's the 10-year-old Davidoff and Federico Fernandez for Mexico.
Really one of the early fixtures for Mexico. He has been a part of just the movement to grow the sport for so long, competing at the top levels, representing his country for many years, and now providing all of that valuable insight to the young and up-and-comers.
His wife Paola Amilibia is also competing here. They make a real good partnership. Center part of the combination comes down.
Good recovery there. Horse landed off that oxer and looked like he wanted to go left. Oh, he's peaking really hard here.
You could feel that about 4 strides out.
He did not like what he saw right out of the corner. Well, it's not a problem at all in the second attempt.
That's horses for you.
Something just caught his eye. A bit anxious though and eager there through the double.
But today it will be 17 in total for Federico Fernandez, and Davidoff 99.97 finishes on the 17 here in round number 1. Still just the 5 clears. Let's take a look as he came round there. You could really
felt
feel
it right away. Tried to react. I mean, he and his horse are almost parting ways, going separate directions.
So we've got Lucy Deslauriers clear for the US, Nicolas Pizarro for Mexico, Rodrigo Lambre for Brazil, Nikolaj Hein Ruus for Denmark, and Juan Jose Zendejas also for Mexico. So that's how the jump-off field looks at this stage. Still a good number to come here in round number 1, and already I think, Katie, we're guaranteed a fast jump-off just looking at who's already qualified to be there.
Oh, absolutely, and the cast to come is something else. And it includes one of the fastest riders in the world that has just entered the ring.
Oh, absolutely. And it's great to see him out with some new horses as well. Emerton's the one that he brings forward. He's had this for just about a year now. It's a 10-year-old gelding. Kent, who ranks number 8 in the world. Here's another one that was over at Royal Windsor. Some of his horses. This horse has got so much scope.
It's really the mark of Kent's ride. They are such modern, athletic sport horses. Top 10 in the 5-star Grand Prix at Wellington in March. Some nice finishes at Samarin, Spruce Meadows last year. And he's really been careful about placing where he's had this horse step up, because it's been a lot of Credence and Gazelle jumping the big classes, and he could say, well, let me throw this one in, and he's been really patient.
I think that's a testament to what a great horseman he is, really.
It can be so easy to get caught up in showing a lot, and Kent is truly masterful when it comes to planning out a schedule for his horses, and he really sticks to it.
Oh, absolutely. He was masterful down that line as well.
Oh gosh, he really held his horse off here too.
That's right, every single stride down there.
Brilliant. He did not give up. That was well earned.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Wow.
And a real team effort. Great round there. The USA's Kent Farrington goes clear with Emerton, 76.80. That's another one going through, and of course they're coming back in the same order as they jump clear in round 1, so he's going to have quite a good draw as well, depending on what happens with the remainder of the field here in round 1.
He lands off that oxer and immediately gets back in the tack to steady for this line. He committed the entire way around.
Eugenio Garza comes forward next, and we're back to Mexico. This is a young rider at just 22 years of age. The horse is 11. Armani. This is a horse he's been producing since it was just a 5-year-old. Jumped nicely at Split Rock in Lexington, Kentucky a few weeks back.
third in this very class a year ago. These two have really grown together, and it's really amazing that Eugenio is just 22 years old, because he is really a top, almost veteran for Team Mexico now.
Oh, yeah.
And between this horse and Victor Finn, he just has one incredible duo of top meter 60 horses.
And as we touched on earlier, you know, it's a really exciting time for Team Mexico. Maybe not for Tokyo, but certainly, you know, for the Olympics that follows. I think they're going to be real contenders.
They're going to have a difficult time just deciding who to put on the team.
Yeah.
They're going to have so many options.
Yeah.
Oh, this horse is jumping outstanding. Knees to nose, this horse is picture perfect. What brilliant style. Wow.
Ah, super. Real nice round there. 76-75. Eugenio Garza goes through for Mexico. We are going to be off to the races when we get to that jump off. 7 clears now at this stage.
That was never in doubt. So smooth around the track.
I think if I could pick a horse to take home so far in this competition, I think that would be right up there.
I'd be fighting you for him, that's for sure.
Vanessa Mannix is next. We're back to the home nation of Canada. There's a 10-year-old called Valentino. So some really good placings at the beginning of the year down at Weth with this horse. And our trainer Connor Swale's actually been jumping this on its last couple of times out. Vanessa back on board now.
Now this competition runs concurrently a 5-star and a 2-star, and last year was the first time I had saw Vanessa with this horse, and they did the 2-star, and they have really grown so much since then. But you could see the potential in this horse, and he certainly met it.
Yeah, Vanessa and her trainer Connor Swale make such a great team. A little bit sticky coming through there.
Yeah, she really went out wide and held him, I thought, almost a bit too much. It worked out for her. She really changed the rhythm to that triple combination. But she's got the horse where she wants him now.
Made that distance look easy down there.
Committing early to what's after this oxer.
Come on, Vanessa. Ah.
She really tried to prepare early for that.
3 or 4 have done exactly the same here in round 1, but it's going to be 4 here today for Vanessa Mannix representing Canada. 78-75 finishes on the 4 at this stage. Good news is she is the fastest of the 4 fault rounds, so who knows, it might just end up in the money.
She just needed a touch more space there into that double. A very solid performance.
Mariano Maggi comes forward next. Horse that Uma O'Neill campaigned last year. 10-year-old gelding called Zanvano. I think this will be about the 3rd or 4th time that Mariano has actually competed this horse.
This will definitely be the biggest track that they've done together. Horse coming out with a very high energy level here. Uma, of course, won the World Cup qualifier here last August. We've been working with Mariano now for about that time, a little bit more than a year. Textbook ride there.
Really frustrating just to have that combination. But now he's got that one as well to worry about. But you know, we've seen some really experienced partnerships in this class, but we've also seen some new pairings. And again, you know, to come out there on 8 faults and nothing majorly going wrong, to be honest.
Yeah, just the technical questions catching up with them, and it'll be an experience where they just learn a lot from it. You learn so much about your horse when you're faced with these kinds of tests.
Yeah. Yeah, so he leaves us on the 8:77.21, his time for reference. But again, a lot to like about that horse.
This is not an easy course for a bigger horse with a big stride either. You just have to be holding and waiting and packaging almost the entire way around, while also not doing too much in the turn, or else you're not going to make that time.
Oh, absolutely. And these questions just come at you so quickly. Eduardo Sanchez Navarro is next. The 11-year-old Oldenburg mare, Sicanta. Horse he jumped in the World Cup in Lyon and finished top 10, and he's had this since it was about a 5-year-old. Produced it up the grades.
Top 10 in the World Cup qualifier at Lyon back in February. Nicolas Pizarro used to ride this horse. Oh wow, he landed flat-footed at B and really had to work to get out of there. Had no shot. He's going to really take his time here and regroup, and then he decides to, maybe he'll just save it for another day.
Yeah, and I think again quite sensible. Eduardo Sanchez Navarro choosing to retire with Sicanta. Reckon still probably about 10 combinations left to come forwards. An exciting jump off to come as well here. He's just going to give it a nice jump over the first there.
Just hesitating off the ground. He reacted right away, but he had to leave from so far away to get out at sea.
Well, just off screen there, he just jumped the first fence, give it a pat, and left on a good note. So 7 clears is what we sit on at this stage. Richard Spooner comes forward next. A man who's done so much throughout his career. And it's Arthos R that he brings forward here. I've seen him win a lot with this horse.
Yeah, particularly in the speed classes. A 2-time winner at Spruce Meadows last year, both in speed classes. He's won at Sacramento, Las Vegas, and actually went to World Cup finals with Richard and was that speed horse for the first round. Richard saving his top mount in Guerreiro for the Nations Cup. They also jumped the Nations Cup at Jalapa. But this is a game horse. But they're just going to roll the top rail at 6.
That's pretty frustrating for him, actually, because this would be one of the horses that I thought would do well here today.
Oh, a hard rub. Rolled and bounced out of the cup and right back in. Keep him on that 4-fault score.
At the moment, our fastest of the 4 faulters is Vanessa Mannix, 78.75 and 4.
Oh, lost a shoe as well.
Well, it's going to be 2 down today. Total of 8 there. 8 faults for Richard Spooner. Arthur Saar, 78.85. There's been a few surprises here in the first round.
Absolutely, and this horse is a real trier. Not his typical wheelhouse. This horse has really shined in more of the speed classes, but can step up on his day. Fortunately, it's just not today. Almost ended up with 12. This rail got a good hard rub.
Richard Feathers stepping forward next. This is a 14-year-old mare. We've seen him finish top 3 with this in San Juan Capistrano in California over the last few weeks. Lux Lady, Rich Feathers for the USA.
Talk about a lengthy partnership. These two have been jumping international classes together since 2013.
And he manages this horse's schedule so carefully, and real shame they're just having the second fence down. But yeah, he's had some nice finishes here. He's had some nice finishes at Spruce Meadows with this horse.
Yeah, 2 wins in the circuit last year. Another that really thrives in the big grass fields. Real high energy mare. And I think that's why she's been able to just keep going, because she has that just natural high energy way of going and just loves to go. It was very similar with Flexible. Just a horse that loved his job and just could keep going, never got tired.
And Richard just stays in that kind of half seat, just stays really soft through the air, takes the odd check when he needs to, but just try and stays out her way as much as he can.
It's that classic American style that's evolved so much, but
it's really going to be frustrating because he answered all the technical questions out there very well and then just took the second fence down. But we'll finish on 4, Rich Feathers and Lux Lady, 79.88. 7 clears so far.
Oh, such an early rail, and he looked back and he really saw it. And it's really one of the smaller verticals on course, but you do have to really go out a few strides before turn. It requires a lot of shape, that line.
On now to Enrique Gonzalez, and a horse he's had for about 4 years now. It's the 12-year-old mare by Chaco Blue called Chacna. It's a horse he took to the World Equestrian Games. A nice Grand Prix win with this horse, actually, just at the beginning of the month.
Yeah, that was at the 3-star level in Del Mar. Also a nice 4-star win at Samarin last year.
I know he thinks a lot of this horse. This is the one he took to the Rolex Grand Prix right at the end of last year, and to take it out to a huge big competition like that.
Enrique also training Karrie Rufer.
He's got a nice base in California now with Eduardo Menezes, the E2 stables. Whoa.
What a recovery.
Yeah, he almost went out the front door. They managed to sit back up, gather up everything, and rode really well down that line as well.
If he can come home on clear after that,
he deserves it.
Absolutely. This is a real careful horse. And she just comes out of the corner sometimes and backs off so much. He has to then push her forward to redirect her.
Well, I have to say I'm a bit gutted for him there because, you know, he rode fantastically and then just has that one rustic rail. 4 jumping faults so for Enrique Gonzalez, 75.36.
He came in, got jumped loose, regroups. The horse is fading completely left to bypass that vertical. Gets that done here. Another shift, very shifty mare, just fades left and not quite getting across that oxer.
Just not his day.
Or is it?
Or is it? Yeah, well, maybe actually, yeah. At least he stayed on board, I suppose. Let's go back to the USA now. The USA's Andrew Wells and Primo Troy coming forward next. Horse he's had for about a year now. It was bred by Linda Courtney in Ireland. This is a horse that's just starting to become more and more consistent.
Yeah, he's really come on this year. 2 top 10 finishes at the 5-star level at Deer Ridge in February. Top 3 made the podium in the 2-star Grand Prix in the Longines Global Champions Tour of Miami in April. Continued on to Lexington in the 3-star. This is definitely his biggest test, stepping up to do a 5-star Grand Prix. And Andrew is named to the squad for the U.S. team. He said he's going to jump today and see how his horse feels to determine whether he's going to jump for that squad or whether he'll be the alternate.
Nice to have the choice.
Yeah, Andrew's really grown his business as well. A lot of clients. Oh, and that is a heartbreaker there. What a delayed rail.
That was a late one. Well, just a 4 here today for Andrew Wells and Primo Troy. 76.29 is the time, so it's going to head into 9th place at this stage here.
That's a great horse. I think you should be really happy with that.
Oh, I do as well.
Answered every question.
Yeah. And that was a frustrating late rail, though.
That really was. That was a good second before that fell. Just rubbed it with the back hooves.
Sort of rolled around, and then down it came. Jordan Coyle comes forward next in with Bold Prince. That means we are taking a little trip to Ireland. This is a 10-year-old gelding. He's been doing a lot in Mexico recently.
Yeah, we saw him in Leon win the World Cup qualifier with a horse called Aristov. This one won a ranking class there that same weekend, both coming from the Andy Coker stable, now owned by Elin Farms.
I think Andy got this last April. He didn't have it too long, though.
He didn't. Jordan scooped this one right up. Really having a lot of success with it.
Must be genetic, because Jordan's brother Daniel did very well on this last year.
See if Jordan can continue the Coyle tradition. So tall with his body there. Well, this is the biggest track this horse has done as well.
Come on, Jordan. See, he rides this with quite long reins. Oh.
He jumped in so quiet into that double.
He is going to be kicking himself there.
Oh, gosh.
It's going to be 4 faults there for Jordan Coyle and Bold Prince. 81-01 and all the way down to that final line.
That's a horse to watch right there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
He was so professional around that track.
It's got all the ingredients there.
I mean, jumped all the tough questions. And Jordan really waited here and jumped in so quiet it was just hard to get out at B.
Well, we're still on 7 clears. It feels like we've been on 7 clears for a while now, but that could definitely be about to change because this combination are pretty special. It's Patricio Pasquel and Babel, the 12-year-old. And there's not much this pair haven't done, really.
Well, he bred this horse. They have just been together through everything. And the best part is that when he was a 3-year-old, he thought he was absolutely horrible. He wanted to give him away.
Right.
And he came back and was the 4-year-old champion, 5-year-old champion, 6-year-old, 7-year-old champion of Mexico, and he's won just about all there is to win.
So the moral of the story is, if Patricio Pasquel ever wants to sell you a horrible 3-year-old,
you take it.
Buy it. But a real special partnership. This is a horse he took to the Nations Cup in Guion last year, and then had a bit of a tour. He went to Hickstead with it, went to Dublin. 5-star Grand Prix win at Spruce Meadows last summer.
Yeah, part of that winning Nations Cup team at Dublin that really started the trend for Mexico and brought them to the forefront. It was kind of their breakout victory. Also part of the winning team at Jalapa earlier this month. Oh.
Come on, Patricio. Oh, super job. Really exciting to have them in that jump off. 75.42 is the time. Great round there from Patricio. Great partnership, great horse. Just so much to like, really.
You can't help but root for them. When you bring a horse all the way up from the beginning, it just makes it that much more rewarding.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And we know that horse is quick against the clock, so look out for them when they come back for that jump off. You can see his teammates there as well, just standing to cheer him on. Alberto Michan, another Olympian, but this is a brand new horse for him for 2019. It's the 10-year-old KWPN El Paso.
This is just their second 5-star outing. They debuted at the Longines Masters of New York in April, and this horse really got thrown into the fire a little bit because he just made his Grand Prix debut at the national standard level just this winter in Wellington. So still a little bit green figuring it out, but definitely has the ability.
Oh yeah, oh absolutely. Center part of the combination comes down. For Alberto though, I don't think it was about winning it today. I think it was about stepping the horse up and working on its education.
I completely agree. This is all preparation for Sunday. Switching nationalities from Mexico to Israel back in January of 2018.
Team Israel's getting pretty full.
They are. They're fielding Nations Cup teams all over after really just making their Nations Cup debut in the U.S. leg back in February.
Well, jumps nicely down the final line. Will finish on 12 here today for Alberto Michan and El Paso. 79.67 the time, but again, don't think he came in to win it today, and he's going to be quite pleased, especially with how that horse jumped down the last line.
I was just going to say, jumped probably the most difficult part of the course very well. He got better as he went. Just figuring things out, a great training opportunity as they gear up for Sunday.
Well, not too many left to come here in round number 1. I think we're down to about the final 4. This is a horse that James Billington brought out and produced, and Cormac Hanley has the ride these days. It's by Chaco Blue out of a Pablo mare. It's a 12-year-old Almazed. Cormac's had the ride for just over a year now and placed well at the Palm Beach Masters in the World Cup there.
He did. That was with his top mount VDL Cartel. He also made his Nations Cup team debut for Ireland. They are a very young Irish rider on the rise, just 22 years old. So much talent. This horse, a great finish at Washington in the World Cup qualifier there, made the top 10.
It's good to see Cormac having some nice horses to ride.
Yeah, supported by Heathman Farm. in New Hope, Pennsylvania. It's been a really great partnership.
Got a nice big open gallop stride, this horse. Really covers the ground.
Came right back to him there.
And crosses that finish line. We've got ourselves another clear. It is for Ireland. Cormac Hanley and Almazed brings us up to 9 clears. I'm looking forward to this jump off. It's going to be quick. I think we might see 1 or 2 more heading through as well. Carlos Guerreiro then coming forward, just waiting in the wings, and there he is. H5 Just a Music, the 10-year-old gelding. One he added to his string at the end of last year, really got to know it at the Winter Equestrian Festival, and actually taken it over to Europe, where he's jumped some nice clears in Saint-Tropez and went okay in La Ball with it as well. And you know, we were talking about how many talented young riders Mexico has, and he's just 18 years old.
You look at riders like Carlos Hank, Eugenio Garza, Cormac Hanley, you know, in their very early 20s, and this rider in his teens, you forget how young they are because it's such a mental game in this sport as well, not just physical. And they are so mentally mature and they're not frazzled.
Yeah.
They just really go around like professionals.
He's got real maturity, and he's represented his country for a while now at young rider level. He's got all 3 colours and medals. He was part of the team that took bronze last year, Team Gold in 2016, Team Silver in 2015. So it's nice to have one of each.
Nice colourful spread.
Probably better if they were all gold, to be honest, but it's nice to have all 3.
He might prefer that, but...
He'll be the youngest athlete in the field today. Oh. And it will just be the 4 here for Carlos Guerreiro. H5 Just a Music, 78.55. I'm sure plenty members of Team Mexico will be down there supporting him, and just not his day.
Oh, you can see the frustration there. He's shaking his head. Can't believe that just happened because he gave such a great ride throughout here.
Just arrived a touch earlier than he wanted to.
Yep.
Are we going to see 1 or 2 more going through? Well, let's find out, because here comes Tracey Epp. Represents Canada with Chicago. Horse he's been jumping for about 4 years now. Brought it out as an 8-year-old and had some recent double clears and top 10 finishes in Del Mar. Some nice traditional breeding with Heartbreaker on the dam side of this one.
And carried a bit.
That down.
Yeah. It is set on the half stride. When I walked it 2 separate times. Once kind of on more of a shaping bend, and another really coming out for 3 strides before turning. You really have to give yourself a little bit of space, particularly if your horse just carries himself and covers the ground a bit more. Let's see the triple as well.
Sits on 8 at this stage. But she's built up a great business, Signature Farms in Richmond, BC. She's been there since about 2013. And actually all started for her when her parents bought her some riding lessons as a birthday present. Then she went on to do hunters and equitation, and then finally jumpers.
Good fight out.
Yeah, had to really fight down there. She was kind of pushing and pulling down to the last, but it's going to be 12 jumping in one time. Total of 13 there for Tracey Epp in Chicago. 84.10, total of 13. Looks like it didn't get up in the air enough there. Well, just one combination left to go here in the first round of the Longines Grand Prix. Mario Deslauriers, and what a horse this is. The 10-year-old mare, Bardolina. They've been together a couple of years now. When he just got the horse, he took it out to Spruce Meadows, and we really saw him transform it over the summer series. He's now taken it to World Cup finals. He's taken it to World Equestrian Games.
It's really amazing what this horse did in its 9-year-old year alone. Going to Nations Cup finals, going to WEG. It's jumped so many clear rounds. Represented Canada in the US leg earlier this year. Back to represent Canada again here. And again will be facing off against his daughter as they represent two different nations.
And believe me, any sort of relationship ends at the gate, but actually now he's going to have plenty of time to support his daughter. That's a shame, just having that final part of the combination, and because they come back in the same order as they jump clear, he would have had the best position possible with this horse because it's so quick against the clock, but just not to be today.
Well, hopefully it will be a nice setup for the Nations Cup on Sunday. Get your rails out of the way. That's a shame.
Yeah, real shame indeed. Just the final part of the combination comes down. Finishes on 4 today, 77.04 for Mario Deslauriers representing Canada with Bardolina. So we saw some pretty nice combinations in the first round. Some nice clears as well. But it's going to be a total of 9 that make it forward through into that jump off against the clock. You can see him just catching final part of the combination there.
He was fighting a really hard right drift throughout that triple combination.
Well, Peter Holmes is going to be jumping into action with Kristen Riddell and the rest of the course designing team down there. They'll get us ready for the jump off, but this is how things look at this stage. We can see Lucy Deslauriers, Nicolas Pizarro, Rodrigo Lambre. I mean, we've got some great names in there. Kent Farrington, Eugenio Garza, Patricio Pasquel, Cormac Hanley. Loads of nations represented in there as well.
It's a diverse field and a star-studded field.
Yeah.
This is really going to be a great jump-off. And I think, Adam, you would agree that we saw a bit more clears than we expected at the beginning of this class. But it was really, it came in ebbs and flows because there really were, it seemed, 2 different groups here in this Grand Prix. We saw some that really just handled the track with ease, and others who the technical questions really caught up with them a bit.
And there was 4 or 5 that had never jumped a competition of this height before.
That's a really difficult test for a course designer to have to accommodate that range of experience level and ability.
Yeah, you want to set a test that the ones that have been to World Cup finals and stuff can jump and be competitive, but you also don't want to kill the ones that have never jumped this big with those horses yet.
You want them to all leave with a positive learning experience, whether they're clear or not.
Well, we've had a look at the result, but let's take a look at the runners and riders as we get ready for the jump off here in the Longines Grand Prix. They are coming back in the same order as they jump clear. That means Lucy Deslauriers will get us underway with Hester. We'll then go to Nicolas Pizarro, Rodrigo Lambre, Juan Jose Zendejas, Nikolaj Hein Ruus, Kent Farrington, and then Eugenio Garza Perez, Patricio Pasquel, and Cormac Hanley. So that's the order that we're going to see in that jump off against the clock. Obviously the ones coming later, in theory, have a bit more of a chance because they know what needs to be done. But sometimes I think as well, if you can go first and add on as much pressure as you can, then you're also in quite a good position.
Absolutely. It becomes mental so much. If you can put that pressure on, everyone tries to outdo you and tries to catch you, and the more you take risks,
yeah,
the easier it is for those poles to fall.
Well, Peter Holmes will have us ready for that jump off in just a couple of seconds time, and you don't want to go anywhere because this is going to be exciting as we get ready to find out who takes the win today in the Longines Grand Prix. Well, if you have just joined us, welcome back as the stage is set for the jump-off of the Longines Grand Prix here at the Longines FEI Jumping Nations Cup event of Langley. Today, though, it is all about this Grand Prix and all about the 9 combinations that have jumped clear in the first round and are ready to go off to the races as we get ready for that jump-off against the clock. I'm Adam Cromarty, sitting alongside Katie Stazak, and it's a strong field coming back with young rider Lucy Deslauriers, our pathfinder. Nicolas Pizarro is in there, Rodrigo Lambre, Juan Jose Zendejas, Nikolaj Hein Ruus, Kent Farrington, Eugenio Garza, Patricio Pasquel, and Cormac Hanley. Very difficult to pick one out of there.
Really is. It's a star-studded cast coming back for this jump off. Lucy Deslauriers will lead it off, and she had to jump so very early in the first round and just made it look so easy. And it was a very divided group. We saw a mixed bag of results here, but the cream of the crop really rising.
Well, she thrives under pressure, and what she wants to do coming in first is to add as much pressure on as you possibly can. Especially when you know you've got people like Kent Farrington coming behind you, Patricio Pasquel, those real kind of senior riders. You want to add as much pressure as you can. And hopefully that means they might have a rail. Let's see though. This is our pathfinder, Lucy Deslauriers for the USA with the incredible and very speedy Hester.
Pathfinders here, they start with fence 8 to 9, the triple bar now an oxer. But an early rail here. You're gonna have to go inside to win. Back on the double, and oh
Whoa.
gosh.
Whoa.
Oh, hold on, Lucy.
You can see what a tough little rider she is. She's straight back up. Just giving herself a minute, taking a breath, and then she'll be back on her feet. But that is so unlike them. I mean, when you think of how many wins they've had together at the real top level, you know, she's taken the horse to Nations Cup final.
I have never seen that from them. She was going for it. It was a very tight turn back, but that's a horse that never hesitates. They are always on the same page, and it can happen to anyone. And she really fought hard to stick on, too.
Oh, she did.
Held on for a while.
She's a fighter. You could see her really kind of hustling as she came out of there, but eventually she did fall off. But she's back up on her feet, and we can see that Hester has been safely caught as well, just out the corner of my eye. Could take another look, I think, as well at what happened. Hester just wasn't keen.
It looks like they were right there. I don't know if he hesitated at the shadows cast, you know, at the bottom of that double there.
Quite possibly. I think it maybe just gives you a bit of a false ground line with the sort of shadows coming out. You can see that look of disappointment because, you know, she just
had a real chance.
Oh, absolutely. She was one of the strong contenders. You can see her shaking her head. And I think, you know, it's a real domino effect as well when you come out over that oxer, trying to get the angle, come inside, set it up as well. All just comes so quickly. Well, we knew it was going to be an interesting jump off, but I didn't think it'd be that interesting right from the get-go. And Nicolas Pizarro's next. Carquillo takes us to Mexico. He was just asking for fence 2 just to be rolled, so that's been done. Sometimes the rails get a bit of a bow, which means they're like a banana, and if they're round the wrong way, it's almost a hole higher. So he asked the course designer just to roll that rail, and it has been done, so now he's ready to go.
Well, not much information to go off of. Not able to see a whole lot from the first round here. He becomes the new Pathfinders. And right from the start, he jumps it on the slice and he'll pull that rail.
Again, going for that inside turn, which they're all going to have to do. But then it only leaves you three or four strides to get straight.
So now it's back on the Artisan Farms vertical.
Oh, that comes down as well, so sits on 8. Not their day.
Unraveling here.
Final fence, and it's this new one that we've not seen yet.
Fence 15, the Longines vertical, and that will come down as well. Well, it's been eventful, Adam.
Well, I don't know where to look now. 16 faults to total for Nicolas Pizarro. Carquilos, 40.66 the time. And when you looked at that field, you really thought it was just going to be a quick one. That was going to be the interesting point, was going to be speed. But actually, you know, Lucy Deslauriers fallen off, and then this horse that's been ultra consistent recently having 4 rails.
He really was setting up here to be efficient, and he jumped it at such an angle on the slice. And just rails falling throughout there, so uncharacteristic, especially with how the horse jumped in the first round.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, let's get Rodrigo Lambre on track with Vellini.
He goes for the angle, gets it.
I'm sure that news is filtering backstage as well. First one fell off, next one had 16 faults. Both experienced riders. But you can see Rodrigo Lambre's, you know, thinking about who's coming behind him.
Absolutely. He knows there's still plenty of fast combinations to come, and he revs the engine back to fence 2. Super tighty here.
Little rub there. Comes down towards the last, going to put in a good time as well, and takes the final fence. We'll finish on 4. Rodrigo Lambre, Vellini, 39.57. And that final line is really daring you. It's all about risk and reward. How fast do you dare to go? Because it is such a delicate upright.
It is, and it's set on an angle there. You really can't get a straight gallop out to it unless you have a very careful and reliable horse. Even still, you're almost jumping into the timers and the T-bird sign. So you have to put a tiny bit of an angle to it. And do you gallop or do you take up?
Or do you knock it down? Well, just the final fence coming down there. 3 combinations gone so far. But this jump off's not over. Some real quick ones still to come forward. And going towards the beginning, you know, as we said, never easy. You want to add on as much pressure as you can, so you take the odd risk along the way. Juan Jose Zendejas comes forward next. Tino Le Chapelle represents Mexico. This would be another one of the young favourites.
A rider so calm, cool, and collected.
And I think if you're in the warm-up and halfway through the draw, it's important not to overthink it now. You know, the fact that it's not going well for the first few.
Stick to your plan.
Stick to your plan. There would always be that temptation of thinking, well, I'm not going to go too fast down there, or I'll put an extra stride in here. But if you know your horse, you've got to go with what you walked. Really nice and slick through there, and kind of goes out wide, gives himself some room. See, this horse really covers the ground, and then he sits back and says, wait.
This horse is giving a tremendous athletic effort. He does not want to touch a pole.
Neither does Juan Jose.
And he fans wide to line it up. Great ride.
Jumps it. There we go. There's our first double clear. 42.53. Young and super talented Juan Jose Zendejas. Tino Le Chapelle jumps clear. And now we have something to chase. 42.53. Time-wise, I think he may have left the door open.
Absolutely.
But it was quite slick.
He gave the perfect ride for the occasion. I think if you were first to go, which essentially he's looking for that first clear, it's the perfect ride for that occasion. Now he puts the pressure on. You have to go clear.
Now they've got something to chase. So 42.53 is the time to beat. First one to take the challenge on, Nikolaj Hein Ruus with Cadillac. This horse has been in the Spruce Meadows stable since it was a foal. It's got lots of support with a team from Spruce Meadows coming down to watch today.
Could they be the good luck charms? The youngest horse in this jump-off field, just 9 years old. And a partnership that's really just coming together as well. They seem to have clicked right off the bat. Without question, their biggest test to date.
Smooth through there.
Really slick.
Opens them up. Not much between them at the minute, I wouldn't say. Maybe slightly wider here. But a younger horse.
He's giving a great ride.
And now just the last. And you can see him opening up, and it really covers the ground. It's going to 42.53 to beat.
He has
Pushes him
it.
through. Yeah, he's got it. 41.13. That is such a great story because it's just a new ride for him. Still really getting to know each other. Youngest horse in the field. And says, catch me if you can. 41.13 there. Nikolaj Hein Ruus now leads the way with Cadillac. What a special little young horse that is.
Absolutely. What a star. And it was deceptively quick, too. He was very tight. He gave a great ride for the horse's age. Doesn't appear quite as quick across the ground, but boy, does he cover it well.
Down to that final fence. I mean, he really took the handbrake off. Wow. Well, 41.13, new challenge, new time to beat. We've got Nicolas Hein Ruus leading the way, Juan Jose Zendejas sitting second, and then we go to the four-fault round of Rodrigo Lambre. He sits in third at this stage. It's not over, though. Kent Farrington comes next with Emerton for the United States of America.
Well, this horse looks absolutely ready to go.
Says, let me at them.
Well, it's right there for the taking. Oh, great angle there. Oh, beautiful, and 7. Oh gosh.
Kent's going to be kicking himself there.
He was so tidy back, and the horse just stutter stepped to fit it in. I almost thought they were going to make it out of there, actually.
Yeah.
What an effort it was. Well, he's going to
smash the time.
Wow.
So it proves the time can be beaten. 38.30, just the 4 there for Kent Farrington and Emerton. And you've got to love the way that Kent rides. I mean, he's just so forward all the way. And if that had been, one of his other top horses, I think they would have got out of there. And Emerton really starting to, step up and give it another 6 months.
Absolutely. I mean, he fought right there. The horse did. He was on it the whole way around.
Well, we know that time can be beaten. 38.30 was the time of Kent Farrington with that rail. We've got 2 clears, though, and Nicola Hein Ruus still leads in 41.13. Eugenio Garza Perez is next. Armani is the name of the horse. They represent Mexico.
He was third in this class a year ago. He would love to move up and win.
Oh, absolutely. And he's the first to the final 3 as well. So we're almost there. It really could go to the wire today, though.
And he does one more stride there than Kent just did. Beautiful, though. So tidy back on the double. He's going to pick up the pace here. Oh. Oh, what a horse. Come on.
41.13, time to beat. I think if he jumps this, he's got it.
Oh, he has it well in hand if he clears it. He does!
He does, and we've got a brand new leader. 37.31. Eugenio Garza Perez takes over the lead here in the Longines Grand Prix. Pushes Nicolas Hein Ruus to second. Juan Jose Zendejas goes to third. He really flew down to that final fence. 37.31. New time to beat.
By nearly 4 seconds.
I know. You only have to win it by 100. It's just showing off. Interesting as well, he was faster than Kent Farrington's time, although Kent had that rail.
He really opened back to the Artisan Farms vertical. Just some brilliant galloping, and that's just a really well-seasoned partnership. He knows exactly how much he can give and take.
And speaking of well-seasoned partnerships, here comes Patricio Pasquel. the horse that he has produced all the way up, the horse he bred, the horse that's won at every age, Babel, and Patricio Pasquel from Mexico. Eugenio Garza has a nervous wait now. He's going to be biting his nails somewhere. And you've got Patricio and you've got Cormac Hanley. If you had to pick one of those two to beat Eugenio, my money would be on this one.
I'd be at the window with you, Adam.
Can hear the Mexicans whistling and saying, "Come on." And if you've never been down to watch jumping in Mexico, it's like
That's
that
right.
for everybody. Whether you're from the home nation or not, they'll support everybody.
You better know how to whistle in Mexico.
Well, he better know how to gallop now, because 37.31's the time. I think he's got it. If he leaves this up, we're going to have a new leader. And yes, he's done it. 36.67. Patricio Pasquel from Mexico rises to the top today with Babel. Wow, that was special.
It really was. And what a day for Mexico.
Oh, he loves that horse. He really does.
Yeah.
And as you say, what a day for Mexico. First and second at the moment, also sitting in fourth. They're going to be the team to look out for when we get to the Nations Cup on Sunday. Wow, 36.67, new time to beat. And just one combination left to come forward. You can see just how happy the whole team there were for Mexico. But Cormac also in with a chance. Can he do it? 36.67. Will it be going to Mexico today? Or will Cormac Hanley scoop that win for Ireland? This is Almazed. Let's find out. He's having a look at that turn already. That is going to take some beating, though.
Yeah, it's quite a test. This would be the biggest win of his very young career.
He's never here to make up the numbers, Cormac.
Absolutely not.
He's winding the springs up.
Gets there beautifully in 7.
It's not about galloping those first 3 questions.
Come on.
It's just about being tight and tidy.
Needs to open up a little more here.
Yeah, you could see just with the difference in experience between the two of them.
A little caught up there in the turn, too.
He just has to set it up a little bit more than Patricio does. And it's all over. The win goes to Mexico here today. But Cormac Hanley also giving this one a great ride and will just finish on 4. 37.81. The time was good enough for third, but with that rail slots him down 2 places and he will finish in 5th.
Still a great day for him.
Yeah, I think again, 6 months down the line, that partnership are going to be super strong. Making a great job today, but you can see him just having to set it up a little bit more than Patricio. Well, we knew it was going to be an interesting jump off, and it certainly was for so many different reasons from start to finish. But there's the result, and we can confirm Patricio Pasquel takes the win from Mexico with the incredible Babel. 36.67, that winning time, and really smashes the time. We've got Eugenio Garza Perez. He was leading for not very long. 37.31, he'll have to make do with second. And then Nikolaj Hein Ruus, real exciting time at the moment for him, joining the stables at Spruce Meadows, will finish in third. And some real shocks from Deslauriers and Nicolas Pizarro as well.
It was certainly a jump off that kept you on the edge of your seat.
Yeah.
But the partnership, you don't have a longer partnership than Patricio Pasquel and Babel. Just from the very beginning, they bred that horse. This win is going to mean so much to him.
Oh, absolutely. And so much to Mexico as well, who just keep going from strength to strength. They're in with a real good chance on Sunday.
looking to sweep the North and Central American and Caribbean division of the Nations Cup season. They are headed to Barcelona, and they are on an absolute tear, continuing to show their dominance at the moment with a top 2 finish.
Yeah, it's going to be a real exciting Longines Nations Cup when it comes here to Vancouver this Sunday. And if you want to watch that one, then the only way you can do it is on FEI TV. So if you are watching on FEI Facebook today or the FEI YouTube channel, then make sure you get yourself organised and get that subscription FEI TV for this Sunday when we join the Longines Nations Cup here in Vancouver. They're getting ready for the prize-giving ceremony. They're getting ready to crown Patricio Pasquel as our winner of the Longines Grand Prix. We'll let you enjoy that prize-giving ceremony. Thanks so much for joining us, though. I've been Adam Cromarty alongside Katie Stazak, and we'll see you back here again very soon.
Let's welcome back the 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd place, and of course our champion here for the Longines FEI Grand Prix, the 5-star class. Of course, Sally Bachman, Our hostess bringing in, representing Longines of Canada, Alyssa Knox. President Tournament Director Jane Tidball. Chief Operating Officer and Tournament Manager Mr. Chris Pack for our presenting party. Accompanying one of our award coordinators, we'd like to thank Lynn Foster for joining us here as well, as we'll have our champion making his way to the podium. And ladies and gentlemen, as he makes his way to the Longines Award area, we'd ask you to please all rise, as we'll be playing the national anthem for our winning rider from Mexico, Patricio Pasquel. We'll gather our riders back here for the official presentation. Of course, everybody's a little excited here. So if we could have Patricio make your way back, and we'll do the official awards of the wonderful watch that'll be given away here. And welcome, as Patricio makes his way back, our representative from Longines, Canada, Miss Alyssa Knox, for the award presentation of the watch. And of course, once again, representing the Longines of Canada, Alyssa Knox, for the official presentation of that beautiful Longines watch. Our hostess, Sally Bachman. Let's also welcome the presenting party here representing Thunderbird, Jane Tidball, our president and tournament director, and Chris Pack, our chief operating officer and tournament manager, to congratulate your champion, Patricio Pasquel, aboard Babel. Of course, after a wonderful class like this, the horses are excited. I'm sure there will be a big fiesta tonight for Team Mexico as Patricio takes the win with Babel. Let's walk the line and congratulate the remaining riders here. Also, Mexico 1 and Mexico 2 with Eugenio Garza Perez and Armani SLZ taking the reserve championship. It's a third place finish from Denmark for Nikolaj Hein Ruus aboard the Spruce Meadows entry Cadillac. Your fourth award also to Mexico for Juan Jose Zendejas Delgado and Tino LaChapelle. It's a fifth place finish for the Irishman Cormac Hanley and Almazy for the Heathman Farm. And your sixth place award winner from USA, Kent Farrington, owning and showing Emerton. As our presentation party makes their way back, we'd like to once again thank our representative for Longines Canada, Alyssa Knox, Jane Tidball, and Chris Pack, right here from Thunderbird. And Patricio, we have one more request from you, sir. If you would lead them off in the victory ride of the 5-star Longines Grand Prix. Your winner is Babel and Patricio Pasquel. "33 horse and rider combinations begin. 9 made the jump off. Coming out on top, your winner from Mexico, Patricio Pasquel. A lap of honor for all of our top riders here in the 5-star Longines Grand Prix. Patricio Pasquel one more time as he makes his way around. Eugenio Garza Perez, Nikolaj Hein Ruus, Juan Jose Zendejas Delgado, Cormac Hanley, and Kent Farrington, our top 6 for the awards in our CSOL 5-star Longines Grand Prix. Viva Mexico! Be sure to join us this Sunday for the Nations Cup competition. 5 teams representative, and the show jumping will get bigger and faster.
up, and it really covers. That's such a great story because it's just for him. The youngest in the
Five strides from the totem fence number 3 to the Oxer fence number 4. The stained glass number 10 come down quite a bit as that big vertical in a related distance with.
That's the first.
Right, this is going to be a line that might just cause an issue or two for a few of them today.
Horse came right back to him there for that.
The thing I like about this story is this is a horse that she took to young riders right up into the sort of senior ranks.
I just spent 2
team at the moment.
What's even wilder is if you take a look at the young talent coming up ready to do the Canadian circuit. His patience really paid off. Here the jump's a bit bigger and
string.
I mean, and it's very smooth out there to watch. Certainly looks like She Belongs. And this horse is
though. Right, 26, 27 combinations left to come forwards here. Jenny McCallum expecting, so we'll wait and see how things progress. I think the fact that time allowed.
Well, the back rail there at that Longines Oxer will put her on 4.
Carrie's getting ready for a busy summer. She's driving her horses to Spruce Meadows as soon as she gets done here. You could see her really horses to Spruce Meadows as soon as she gets done here. You could see her really trying to check. She could feel that a couple of strides out.
Oh, we almost came down to do well, and she did just that yesterday, winning the meter 50 jump.
Whoa!
Oh!
That looked like quite a sore one as well when she just landed on those. Whoa!
Oh!
That looked like quite a sore one as well when she just landed on those. Well, things really kind of panning out as we thought now, because we've now seen 10 and we still just have those 2 clears. So you can never kind of estimate or guess how a competition's going to pan out. But at the start, it did look like we were going to get a fair few.
Very steady line there. And then to open up and again come back. That triple.
Yeah, super job and well within the time. 78. But gets the job done.
Put on the World Cup qualifiers at Guadalajara and Leon. I mean, Spruce Meadows are so wonderful at just.
Yeah, super job. And it's clear. 79 of 56. Nikolaj Hein Ruus jumps clear with Cadillac
He
representing
is
Denmark.
absolutely thrilled. He is ecstatic.
Ultra consistent, and I don't think it would be that good with any other rider, because Antuna does a good job of taking checks where he can, but then he just kind of let it grew and grew while it was over there. You can see her still kind of holding all the way down to the final fence, but also competing here. They make a real good partnership. Center part of the combination comes down. This horse has got so much scope.
It's really the mark of, he did not give up. That was well earned.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Wow. They're going to have a difficult time just deciding who to put on the team.
Yeah.
They're going to have so many options.
Yeah.
Oh, this horse is jumping up. Wow.
Ah, super. Real nice round there. 7.
But she's got the horse where she wants.
Come on, Vanessa. Ah.
She really tried to prepare early. Uma, of course, won the World Cup qualifier here last August. We've been working with Mariano now for...
Decanta. Horse he jumps in the World Cup in Lyon.
Oh, wow, he landed flat-footed. Pizarro used to ride this horse. Oh, wow, he landed flat-footed at B. And
it's pretty frustrating for him, actually, because this would be one of the horses that I thought would do well here today.
oh, a hard rub. Talk about a lengthy partnership. These two have been jumping international.
Whoa.
What a recovery.
Yeah, he almost went out the...
After that.
He deserves it.
Absolutely.
Ah.
Oh. What a recovery.
Yeah, he almost went out the front door.
Yeah, Andrew's really grown his business as well. A lot of clients. Oh, and...
Well, just a 4 here today for Andrew Wells and Primo Troy. 76.29 is the time, so it's going to head into 9th place. He is going to be kicking himself there.
Oh, gosh.
It's going to be 4 faults there for Jordan Coyle and Bold Prince. 5-star Grand Prix win at Spruce Meadows last summer.
Yeah, part of that winning nation.
Patricio. Oh, super job. Really, oh, super job. Really exciting to have them in. The combination comes down. For Alberto, though, I don't think it was about winning it.
That was with his top mount VDL Cartel. He also made his nation.
A nice big open gallop stride. This horse really covers the ground. Got ourselves another clear. It is for Ireland. Cormac Hanley. And
game in this sport as well, not just physical. And
oh,
he might prefer that, but if your horse just carries the, carries himself and covers the ground a bit more. Let's see it again here. And again, we'll be facing nations.
Believe me, any sort of relationship ends at the gate, but
go inside to win back on the double, and oh
whoa.
Gosh,
Whoa.
Oh, hold on, Lucy.
Oh, you can see what a tough little rider she is. She's straight back up, just giving herself a minute, taking
go inside to win back on the double, and oh
whoa.
Gosh,
Whoa.
Oh, hold on, Lucy.
Oh, you can see what a tough little rider she is. She's straight back up, just giving herself a minute, taking the angle, come inside, set it up as well. All just comes so quickly. Well, we knew it was going to be an interesting jump off.
To see a whole lot from the first round here, he becomes the new Pathfinders. And right from the start, he jumps it on the slice.
Filtering backstage as well. First one fell off, next one had 16 faults. Both experienced. Little rub there. Comes down towards the last, going to put in a good time as well, and takes the... Comes down towards the last, going to put in a good time as well, and takes the final fence. We'll finish on 4. Rodrigo Lambre.
To it, unless you have a very careful and reliable horse. Even still, you're almost jumping into the timers and the T-bird sign. So and he fans wide to line it up. Great
and
ride.
Jumps it. There we go.
Great
and
ride.
Jumps it. There we go. There's our first double clear. 42, 5th.
Clicked right off the bat.
Opening up, and it really covers the ground. It's going to 42.53 to beat.
He
Pushes
has
on
it.
through. Yeah, he's got it. 41.13. That is such a great story because it's just a new ride for him. Still really getting to know each other. Youngest horse in the field, and says, "Catch me if you." 2.53 to beat.
He
Pushes
has
on
it.
through. Yeah, he's got it. 41.13. That is such a great story because it's just a new ride for him. Still really getting to know each other.
Oh gosh.
Kent's going to be kicking him.
Pick up the pace here. Oh.
3 time to beat. I think if he jumps this, he's got it.
He has it well in hand if he clears it. He does!
He does, and we've got a brand new...
In hand if he clears it. He does!
He does, and we've got a brand new leader. 37-31. Eugenio Garza Perez takes over. I think he's got it. If he leaves this up, we're going to have a new leader. And yes, he's done it. 36. Leaves this up. We're going to have a new leader. And yes, he's done it. 36. Also sitting in 4th. They're going to be the team to look out for when we get to the Nations Cup on Sunday.
Gets there beautifully in 7.
It's not about galloping those first 3 questions.
Come on.
It's just about being tight.
And of course, our champion here for the Longines FEI Grand Prix, the 5-star class. Of course, Sally Bachman. Officer and tournament manager to congratulate your champion Patricio Pasquel aboard Babel. Officer and tournament manager to congratulate your champion Patricio Pasquel aboard Babel. Nine made the jump off. Coming out on top, your winner from Mexico, Patricio Pasquel. 9 made the jump off. Coming out on top, your winner from Mexico, Patricio Pasquel.